The Greeks were bad, am I right? Oh no, please. I knew you were coming, but not yet. Please, let me have a little more fun. No.
Your victories in combat and conundrums suggest your fitness to confront the challenges ahead. Mental strength will confirm your worthiness, or declare your defeat.
What if I've already proven myself good enough, and we can just go with it? Do we have to test it? Do we have to? Yes, I know to go up there. What if we just took my word for it? How about that? Integrity, my word is my integrity is my heart. How about that? Alice, this is your world anyway. Can't you just, like, imagine the puzzle done, and then voila, it's finished. How about we do that? We're gonna have to do the same thing, aren't we? Yeah, let's get it over with. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys suck. Oh, I can walk on here, okay. Please let me run. Is that all of them? No, apparently not. One more? One more. Where is the last one? That's where I came from, so it's not that way. Is it like... It's around the corner, isn't it? Yes, it is. Smash him up! And last one. Why? Why do this to me? Why do you hate me? Why? Everyone ready to freaking cringe? I mean, you're watching this, so of course you are, but I mean, like, in a different kind of way. I hate it. I hate it. Oh, that needs to be like way down there. Oh my gosh. I hate these puzzles. I hate them. I hate them more than you've ever known. Well, this obviously didn't work. Try again. Okay, so this needs to come down here, then needs to go down, then needs to go to the head. Okay. Okay, self, come on. Come on, self, we can do this. Okay, there we go, okay. This isn't working. No. No, why? Okay, let's try it again, shall we? Oh!
You can save us. I'll open the path.
Thank you. Please, no more puzzles. Let me just fight a horde of dudes. I'll take that instead. That's more difficult, Alice. You will deal with it. You solved the puzzle. You can save us, surely. That's your criteria, really? Like, one puzzle. Alright, well, the bar is pretty low here. I'll try to live up to it. Please, jeez.
She is certainly ill. She imagines odd things, and she has a hero complex, an inherent desire to help others, being unable to help herself, and a compulsion to make the world right. She's trying to unlock the true meaning of her life, and she doesn't know who has the key.
Aww, she's looking for herself. Now, hero complex can't be dangerous. Remember, we're not here to save others. We can't do that. But there is a God who can, who loves us, and working through us can make a difference for others. But looking to help others is a wonderful thing. Mr. Radcliffe and your freaking pessimistic viewpoint. Mr. Elder, show me the way without another puzzle, please.
The wicked wasps lay siege upon us and control the peaks to east and west. You must defeat them to reach Caterpillar's retreat.
I suppose I must go to the mountaintop, as it won't come to me.
We have faith that Caterpillar, the strange and wondrous, helps those in need. One day we'll have proof. Purity of heart is to will one thing, to approach his sacred eyrie. You must confront the savage daimyos. You prevent our access to his power.
Ah, those guys are
Open the
pushovers.
entrance to the sacred caves where your journey begins.
Begins? We've been climbing this tower the whole time. I don't know if you've noticed, but we've already done some of the steps of our tunnels. Oh, hello. Ooh, jeez. Alright, well, hello, guys. Can I go back here? Nope. Alright, into the painting, I suppose? Da 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 da! Neck tickle! Oh yeah, look at this. House move, junk, shrink, and use your float as normal. Move careful to avoid hazards.
Regard this depiction of domestic harmony and order. The fruitful landscape encouraged industry, tolerance, and cooperation. Loving families flourished, happy children, dear friends, grateful for their well-being, lived for generations, secure, active, and free. But a sudden onslaught of alien attacks broke their fragile bodies and nearly crushed their generous spirits.
That doesn't sound too good. Sorry, I'm exploring. Sorry, Alice. Oh. I'm dying so much because I'm looking for stuff. There's only peaches in here, and I don't think it gets anything. So I really shouldn't be wasting time. Oh, jeez. Really? I hit it? Alright, fair enough. Oh, I didn't land the shrink in time. Oh, okay, a short hop's not gonna work, okay? Don't worry. Taking hits is the one thing I can do. I'll cover for you, Alice, because your durability doesn't look too good. Fire. There we go. Fly. Float. Ascend. Oh, hello. Alright, cool. Who built this stuff? This is not very well made. How's going on? There we go. Oh, cool. Where is this thing? A peach. Cool, I got a peach, which gave me 1 tooth. Thanks. Oh. Ooh. Just checking. There we go. What's up here? What's this? Oh, hold on. What's over here? Ah, peach. Give me the peach. Mario! Oh god, speaking of Mario. Platform time! Boop. Up we go. Okay. Okay. You're gonna show me where I need to jump off, please? Okay, missed that. Okay, missed that. Okay, round 3. I said zooming in. Stop zooming in. Back off. Back up. Back up. Thank you. I need to be able to see. Alright, where is this going? Okay. Can you zoom out, please? Thank you. Oh, wait, that's where I was. Oh my gosh. This is the advanced crouch, where you crouch down so much that your body shrinks in mass. No, it was there. That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh. Thanks for showing me. Jeez. Peach. Siri? Hold the lever. Up we go. What's this way? This is just 1 tooth. Alright. And we're out. We out, boys. Alright. Moving right along. Oh, look at this.
Only the foolish believe suffering is just wages for being different.
That's true. Just because you're different, it doesn't mean anything bad. As long as one's not doing something against the Lord, then you're fine. Everyone has different preferences. Into the hole. And let's go down the hole. Okay, can I get you?
A dutiful, honorable daughter would commemorate her deceased family in marble. I know a gifted sculptor with whom I might negotiate a commission.
Use your inheritance to do things, and I can take a little bit off the top. It's the right thing to do, Alice. Now do it. I care about you deeply, by the way. Ugh. Look at this. Isn't this cool? Look at this. I love concepts like this. Very cool. Oh, come on. Yes, the most cowardly of the samurai. The archer. Die. Alright, now that we're good. Moving right along. There's another one. Can't hit him though. Can I? Sniped ya. One shot and multiple bullets, one kill. Uh-huh. Yeah, I see that. Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, and you want me to get over there how? Yeah. Spin me right round, baby, I guess. Okay, I don't know why you showed me that. Interesting. Whoop. I'll be good. Up, onward. Ooh. Fire. Is that actually the kanji for fire? I may be a weeb, but I don't actually know very much about like, actual stuff like that. Ramba would know. Oh, jeez. Oh, what now? Die. Okay, great. I mean, platforms. That's good. Woo! Oh, for the love. Alright. Now, hold the fish's tongue. That's quite the indented nose ring you got there. Ooh. Pato? Where do I go from? There we go. Whoa. Whoop, whoop. Oh boy. Samurai Ink Wasp. There we go. Okay, got it. So they're like the bolt flies. There we go. Cool. Okay. Nothing new over here. Moving right along. In we go. Oh my gosh. There we go, problem solved. Okay, alright, well that's not what I want to do. You sucker. What's up here? That's where I'm supposed to go, so hold tight. What's this way, though? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Sorry, stuff on my phone this morning. Okay. There we go. Is it gonna be a question? Is it gonna be a battle? What's it gonna be? What you got for me?
There's no time to waste.
Battle time.
There's no time at all.
Oh boy. Kill these first. Okay, where's the next one? There it is. Okay, there's that. Oh, really? That was it? That was it? Wait, what? Really? Whoa, the others were way harder.
Come, Alice, don't dawdle. You've already missed the train.
I mean, okay, I'll take. Cool. I'll take an easy win. In we go. Back into the mine. The mine. Look. Oh, look at that beetle. Look at that giant head guy. Giant head guy. You spin me right, baby, right round. Yeah, if I wouldn't have gotten that, you would have missed it. That's terrible. Also, look how beautiful this is. Alright, I'll knock it off. Woo! Whoa, whoa. Yeah. Ow. It's like, yeah, ah! Yeah. The teeth is. No, I'm missing the teeth. Alright, well. Well, that's a bummer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, there's so many. Ooh. Who put these dog turds on here? Who put this flaming hot cow pies in my way? There we go. Alright. Okay, where are we now? Ooh, we need to get to the cool stuff. Except not, because I bet there's gonna be a fight on that platform over there. Alright, well, I tried. I hit him? No, okay, fine. Fine. Go over there. Like a good person. What the? Fucking trying to body block me. What the crap is this? Oh, pig snout. Oh my gosh, there's a pig snout. No time for you. Where? Where? I hear a piggy. I don't see a piggy. Ah, there it is. Oh, that's way down there. Okay, I guess it moved that little thing there. It did, okay. That was weird. Ah, stop showing that. We are Twitch TOS. Also, my good Christian stream. No art could be so vulgar. Shoot, shoot. Shoot-a-whoop. Oh, what did I say? Oh, come on! You can't throw me off during a mid combo. Whatever. Ow, that hurt. Alright, fine. Alright, Daimo. What the? I did not shrink! Turn 4 over, die! Die! Calm yourself, Alex. Oof. Archers. Okay. Alright, good. Pull the chain! Autobots, roll out. Up we go. That's where we're supposed to go, I think. What about this way? What do we have here? First off, heal me, please. Thank you. I wonder what Alice is doing in there. It's like, sorry guys, this isn't super interesting, but I want this health. Come on. Almost got it. There we go. Good as new. It's dark in here. Why invert the camera? Why do this to me? Oh, this was bad.
Radcliffe asked me in just the once. Often. Very proud of his artifacts. Ming, I think he said. Impartial to Tokugawa Japan. Doesn't seem the samurai type, but Perhaps that's why.
I'm such a weeb for Japan, isn't it cool? Pull it. Alice, you can't weigh like 105 pounds. I don't know how you put enough weight on that to pull it. Does this thing move? Oh, of course it does. Alright, fine. We will wait patiently, like good people. There we go. Up we go. Well, hello, memory. I'm just chilling out here.
The conflagration's point of origin was obvious. First, the library caught fire, and it spread disastrously when the gas line exploded.
More information about the fire. Let's go. Alright, now it's time to face the past.
Dinah saved my life. I survived because she showed me how to escape. I didn't leave the lamp in the library, and Dinah didn't knock it over. The lamp and Dinah were upstairs when I went to bed. Dinah was in the room with me when the fire started.
That's right, because remember, the mother said in one of the memories, alright, you need a nightlight, we'll leave the lamp in the hall until you're 12. And she was definitely before 12 at that point. Ooh, interesting. Look at that. Answers. Alright. Well, I think this'll be a good stopping point for now. We just had a good memory. I stopped after a memory last time, so it seems like a good place now. Not last time, but the one before, I think. So, we'll go on ahead and stop there for now. Can I power up anything else before I leave? Nope. Alright, in that case, menu? Yes. Alright. Before we move on though, let's see what new enemies we've faced before. I always like to take a look at them. Nan Sharp. Oh! Always a substantial and independent woman, Nanny taught French and music to Lizzie and me. Sorry, this is Alice. Disastrous choices in companionship, penury, and an iron-hard sense of pride had led her to a life of not quite solid prostitution. From her digs at the Mangled Mermaid, she manages to string up professional women on the street. She visited me several times at Rutledge. Aw, see, she's like the only ones who actually kind of cared about Alice. Jack Splatter. A bullying, bad-tempered, congenital criminal. He's built a heinous career on the labor of desperate women. Once Nan Sharp's procurer and self-appointed protector, he runs his sordid trade out of the Mangled Mermaid. Brass Shark. Sailors are rightly terrified of sharks, the voracious apex predators and notorious for their unpredictable temperaments and indiscriminate appetites, but only would, if it could, fear these creatures. Self-made from ruined privateers, clippers, and ships of the line, they consume wood to keep body and soul together. I wish they'd eat one another. I'm surprised they don't. Mare Squid. Oh my gosh, what? I don't remember fighting this. Is this one of the things we shot down? Expertly crafted figureheads, mute but proud emblems that once graced a great ship's prow, are furious with their sunken fate. Rather than suffer in silence, they wail their own siren songs and bring down other ships with the anchors, chains, and other ballast they've collected. Colossal ruin, here it is! An indefinitely more powerful and undeniably more disgusting manifestation of the menacing ruin. What was formerly foul and detestable is heinous, even monstrous here. The ruin seems relentless. It just keeps getting worse. Nocturnal. The former master of the railroad is kind, but self-absorbed. Weepy and fatalistic with a melancholic disposition, he talks too much. He's not clever, but he thinks he might be, if he could just summon up the energy to try. Oh. Carpenter. A distinctive Senentius, master of the Jeez Louise. Alice, why you gotta do this? Malaprop, Laxus, Scintilla of skill in his eponymous trade. Wouldn't know a hammer from a handsaw. Appears to have appointed himself lord of the theatrical universe. Given his subjects, I don't suspect there was much resistance. Wars. If observation is a judge, he's not missed a meal in his life. Pigs at a trough have more dignity. A big, hungry creature, with nothing on his mind except an outsized appetite and his self-proclaimed reputation as a great thespian. Fish couple. Keeping children amused is a priority of indulgent parents the world over. Lucky children, but these two have more on their minds than the family's entertainment. They're at odds in their opinions of the carpenter, his character, his creation, and his role in protecting them from corruption. I suppose I'll have to test their credibility. Octopus. The carpenter sent me to collect a script from this Glaswegian lush. He's angry about something, but not hasty. A little fond of his own opinion, but a decent sense of play, with some outstanding physical skills, I suspect, if he's ever sober. Music fish. Divas from the Covent Garden to La Scala have jitters before a performance. Expressed as vital, unsatisfiable needs, they preemptively excuse things going badly. By such, the talent tries to isolate itself from failure, which is much more often imagined than real. Ouch! No excuse, however, will deflect the condemnation deserved by this tone-deaf, talentless, time-serving performer. Oyster Scarlet. Without a script, this perilous theatrical dunce must rely on mangled cliches as a substitute for sensible speech. Actors seem to often forget how to speak spontaneously, in their own voices. Youch. The mayor. Oh god. Like many discredited and discarded politicians, the mayor seems sufficiently deluded that he refuses to accept rejection as a sign of rejection. I know that denial is a dangerous thing, but don't always behave as if I know. Aww. Turtle chest? What the crap? Okay, I don't remember bringing that. Oh yeah, the Yeti. Rose level abominable. The piranha. And the wasps. Samurai wasps. Oh look, that's one without their armor. Ravages, despoilers, and murderers. These self-proclaimed samurai have corrupted the blameless and defenseless origami ants' way of life. It's a cruel lie. They violated the philosophy that the noble warrior class Bushido. They merely expert killers who have expropriated the weapons of their namesake, sword, shield, and longbow. Unlike true samurai, they protect nothing, are loyal to nothing, and have no honor. Samurai Ink Wasp. While not terribly clever, strong, or dangerous, there's simply an endless supply of soldiers available to support the samurai's mayhem. They remind me of the Grubs, and unpleasantly alike. And then the Daimyo Wasp. Though each of the samurai wasps appear to act at their own authority, some fraction of them seem to be of a higher rank. More skilled with their weapons may give them higher standing in the diseased society. They may give orders to the others. They are, of course, equally reprehensible, perhaps more so. Ah, so that's all of the enemies we've encountered so far. Evil things. Alright. Oh, concept art. Is this what I've been getting? No, I got 0 out of 40, so must not be it. Okay, weird. Alright, well that'll be it for that for today. Wow, that was our dive into Alice Madness Returns for today. Oh, we're making good progress. We're about halfway through that world, I believe. Not too bad through, you know, making our way downtown, walking fast, faces past we're homebound. But yeah, so we'll be able to get through all of it by all of December, I think, for sure. Give me 1 second. Let me switch this over because I want to change this from Madness Returns to just chatting for the end here. All right. So, oh, hold on. Sorry. Boop. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Once again, I'm Icarus, and these are the streams. We dive in 3 times during the week. Today on Tuesdays at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I dive into a single player kind of thing. And right now, because of the spookiness of October, we're doing Alice Madness Returns. If we finish Alice a little bit early before the end of October, I might try to find a very short horror game to do. I'm not sure. We'll take a look into it. But yeah, so that's Tuesdays. On Fridays, it's last Friday we didn't do it, but this Friday we will as well. We will be going back into Tales of Vesperia with the whole group together. So that's going to happen around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Epsilon will be there, as well as Bravo, Valamir, and Sasha, Epsilon's new wife. So it'll be wonderful. We'll all dive in together. We're getting pretty far into that. I think we're definitely in the last third for sure. We might be a little farther, but I'm not exactly positive on that front. But we're making good time. And then on Sundays, every other Sunday, which will be this Sunday, Epsilon and I jump into Final Family Fantasy Funtime 14, or as we call it, which is Final Fantasy 14, where the two of us are in the very end of Stormblood. We're about to wrap everything up for it. We're on the final confrontation for it, I believe. So that'll be pretty good. And yeah, so that's 3 times a week whenever we dive in. You can also find me on Icarus Redeemed on YouTube. I always try to put these VODs up and split them up to get them ready and, try to put them in bite-sized kind of, segments. You can also find me at Icarus_Redeemed on Twitter. That's usually where I put updates and stuff like that. And yeah, you can find me on all those places. Before we go, at the end, usually I'm a believer in God's Word. I usually like to share a little bit of His Word before the end. But during the month of October, we're doing something a little different. In honor of Alice, we're actually reading through Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. We're actually doing Through the Looking Glass because a year ago I read through Alice in Wonderland for a character I was doing in a campaign that didn't go anywhere, which maybe we'll show at the end. Maybe we'll go over that at the end. I could show you guys a little bit of it. I worked really hard, and I really hope maybe one day we can get that campaign going again. But yeah, so I never read through the Looking Glass, so I figured that we might as well do a little bit of that. I think that could be fun. We'll read along at the end. And we will go back to devotionals for sure. I just thought for October, because of Alice, we could do this a little bit. I doubt we'll get through the whole thing, but, we might get through a decent amount of it. So, okay. So we are on chapter 3. The last time Alice in Wonderland, the Alice here, went through her looking glass, her mirror, into a new world. And there she met a chessboard with a bunch of people in a land that was new. And the Red Queen of the chessboard allowed Alice to be a pawn on the giant chess match of their land. And so now she has to go through all of the segments of the chessboard to get to the end and become a queen herself. So that's what she's going to try to do. So let's see now how she does and see where this goes to. Chapter 3. Looking Glass Insects. Sorry, here's some light. Of course, the first thing to do was to make a grand survey of the country she was going to travel through. It's something very like learning geography, thought Alice, as she stood on tiptoe in hopes of being able to see a little further. Principal rivers, there are none. Principal mountains, I'm the only one. But I don't think it's got any name. I'm sorry, I'm on the only one, but I don't think it's got any name. Principal towns, why, what are those creatures making honey down there? They can't be bees. Nobody's ever saw bees a mile off, And for some time she'd stood silent, watching one of them that was bustling about just among the flowers, poking its proboscis into them. Hope they're not the wasp we ran into. Just as if it were a regular bee, thought Alice. However, this was anything but a regular bee. In fact, it was an elephant, as Alice soon found out, though the idea quite took her breath away at first. And what enormous flowers they must be, was her next idea. Something like cottages with the roofs taken off, and stalks put into them. And what quantities of honey they must make. I think I'll go down and... No, I won't go just yet, she went on, checking herself just as she was beginning to run down the hill, and trying to find some excuse for turning shy so suddenly. It'll never do to go down among them without a good long branch to brush them away. And what fun it'll be when they ask me how I liked my walk. I shall say, oh, I liked it well enough. Here came the favorite little toss of the head. Only it was so dusty and hot, and the elephants did tease so. She's talking about whenever she goes back home to talk about all her adventures. I think I'll go down the other way, she said after a pause. And perhaps I may visit the elephants later on. Besides, I do so want to get into the third square. She has to move to the squares to become king. Queen. So with this excuse, she ran down the hill and jumped over the first of the 6 little brooks. Then she goes a little further. "Tickets, please," said the guard, putting his head in at the window. In a moment, everyone was holding out a ticket. They were about the same size as the people, and quite seemed to fill the carriage. "Now then, show your ticket, child," the guard went on, looking angrily at Alice. And a great many voices all said together, like the chorus of a song, thought Alice. "Don't keep him waiting, child. Why, his time is worth £1,000 a minute." "I'm afraid I haven't got one," Alice said in a frightened tone. "There wasn't a ticket office where I came from." And again the chorus of voices went on. "There wasn't room for one where she came from. The land there is worth £1,000 an inch." This is a picture of Alice getting on the train. "Don't make excuses," said the guard. "You should have bought one from the engine driver." And one more the chorus of voices went on with, "The man that drives the engine. Why, the smoke alone is worth £1,000 a puff." Jeez Louise. Alice thought to herself, "Then there's no use in speaking." The voices didn't join in this time, as she hadn't spoken, but to her great surprise, they all thought in chorus. I hope you understand what thinking in chorus means, for I must confess that I don't. Better say nothing at all. Language is worth £1,000 a word." Jeez Louise. "I shall dream about £1,000 tonight. I know I shall," thought Alice. All this time the guard was looking at her, first through a telescope, then through a microscope, then through an opera glass. At last he said, "You're traveling the wrong way," and shut the window and went away. "So young a child," said the gentleman sitting opposite to her. He was dressed in white paper. Just like the ants. Wow, he really did take everything from the actual story. I've never read through the Looking Glass, so wow. "Ought to know what way she's going, even if she doesn't know her own name." A goat that was sitting next to the gentleman in white shut his eyes and said in a loud voice, "She ought to know her way to the ticket office, even if she doesn't know her alphabet." There was a beetle sitting next to the goat. It was quite a queer carriage full of passengers altogether. And as the rules seemed to be that they should all speak in turn, he went on with, "She'll have to go back from here as luggage." Alice couldn't see who was sitting beyond the beetle, but a hoarse voice spoke next. "Changes engines," it said, and then it choked and was obliged to leave off. "It sounds like a horse," Alice thought to herself. An extremely small voice, close to her ear, said, "You might make a joke on that. Something about horse and horse, you know, because of his voice." And then a very gentle voice in the distance said, "She must be called Lass with Care, you know." And after that, other voices went on. What a number of people are there in the carriage, thought Alice, saying, "She must go by post, and as she's got a head on her, she must be sent as a messenger by the telegraph. She must draw the train herself the rest of the way," and so on. But the gentleman dressed in white paper leaned forwards and whispered in her ear, "Never mind what they all say, my dear, but take your return ticket every time the train stops." "Indeed I shan't," Alice said rather impatiently. "I don't belong to this railway journey at all. I was in a wood just now, and I wish I could get back there." "You might make a joke on that," said the little voice closer to her ear. "Something about you would if you could, you know." "Don't tease so," said Alice, looking about in vain to see where the voice came from. "If you're so anxious to have a joke made, why don't you make one yourself?" The little voice sighed deeply. It was very unhappy, evidently, and Alice would have said something pitying to comfort it. If it would only sigh like other people, she thought. But this was such a wonderfully small sigh that she wouldn't have heard it at all if it hadn't come quite close to her ear. The consequence of this was that it tickled her ear very much, and quite took off her thoughts from the unhappiness of the poor little creature. "I know you're a friend," the little voice went on, "a dear friend and an old friend, and you won't hurt me, though I am an insect." "What kind of insect?" Alice inquired a little anxiously. What she really wanted to know was whether it could sting or not. But she thought this would be quite a simple question to ask. You can't ask if someone stings or not. You must ask what kind of insect and then deduce from there. What? Then you don't, the little voice began, when it was drowned by a shrill scream from the engine, and everybody jumped up in alarm, Alice among the rest. The horse, who had put his head out the window, quietly drew it in and said, "It's only a brook we have to jump over." Everybody seemed satisfied with this, but Alice felt a little nervous at the idea of trains jumping at all. However, it will take us to the Fourth Square. That's some comfort, she said to herself. In another moment, she felt the carriage rise straight up in the air, and in her fright, she caught at the thing nearest to her hand, which happened to be the goat's beard. But the beard seemed to melt away as she touched it, and she found herself sitting quietly under some tree, while the gnat, for that was the insect she had been talking to, not the best choice, was balancing itself on a twig just over her head and fanning her with its wings. It certainly was a very large gnat, about the size of a chicken, Alice thought. Still, she couldn't feel nervous with it after they had been talking for so long. Then you don't like all insects, the gnat went on, as quietly as if nothing had happened. I like them when they talk, Alice said. None of them ever talk where I come from. What sort of insects do you rejoice in, where you come from? The gnat inquired. I don't rejoice in insects at all, Alice explained, because I'm rather afraid of them, at least the large kinds, but I can tell you the names of some of them. Yeah, insects are... Of course they answer to their names, the gnat remarked carelessly. I never knew them to do it. What's the use of them having names, the gnat said, if they won't answer to them? No use to them, said Alice, but it's useful to people that name them, I suppose. If not, why do things have names at all? I can't say, the gnat replied. Further on, in the wood down there, they've got no names. However, go on with your list of insects. You're wasting time. Well, there's the horsefly, Alice began, counting off the names on her fingers. Ugh, for anyone who does not live in Florida, horseflies are the worst. They're like, oh my gosh, they're like this freaking big, and they're huge. They buzz around. They're so loud, and they will sting you. Like they'll bite you. They're flies that will bite you, and they suck. I always remember going to the pool in the beach we used to visit at because they had a condo and a pool and stuff. And I remember like the buzzing around the pool, and I'd just like dive under and just sit under there and be like, oh my gosh, go away, go away. So like splash up above me while I'm underwater trying to get them to leave. Oh, they suck. Just a little anecdote. All right, said the gnat. Halfway up that bush, you'll see a rocking horsefly if you look. It's made entirely of wood and gets about by swinging itself from branch to branch. What does it live on? Alice asked with great curiosity. Sap and sawdust, said the gnat. Go on with the list. And here is the rocking horsefly. Alice looked up at the rocking horsefly with great interest and made up her mind that it must have just been repainted. It looked so bright and sticky. And then she went on. And there's the dragonfly. Look on the branch above your head, said the gnat, and there you'll find the snap-dragonfly. Its body is made of plum pudding, its wings of holly leaves, and its head of a raisin burning with brandy. What does it live on? Asked Alice as before. Fermentary, which is dessert made with sugar, raisins, and boiled wheat. Okay. And mince pie, the gnat replied, and it makes its nest as a Christmas box. And that's what it looks like. I was making sure that was the one that we're talking about. And then there's the butterfly, Alice went on, after she had taken a good look at the insect with its head on fire, and she had thought to herself, I wonder if that's the reason insects are so fond of flying into candles, because they want to turn into snapdragonflies. Crawling at your feet, said the gnat. Alice drew her feet back in some alarm. You may observe a bread and butter fly. Its wings are thin slices of bread and butter, its body a crust, and the head of a large lump of sugar. That sounds pretty good. I might actually eat an insect for that one. And what does it live on? Weak tea with cream on it. A new difficulty came into Alice's head. Supposing it couldn't find any, she suggested. Then it would die, of course. Youch. But That must happen very often, Alice remarked thoughtfully. It always happens, said the gnat. Ouch, poor guys. After this, Alice was silent for a moment or two, pondering. The gnat amused itself, meanwhile, by humming round and round her head. At last it settled again and remarked, I suppose you don't want to lose your name. No, indeed, said Alice a little anxiously. And yet I don't know, the gnat went in with a careless tone. Only think how convenient it would be if you could manage to go home without it. For instance, if the governess wanted to call you to your lessons, she would call out, Come here! And there she would have to leave off, because there wouldn't be any name for her to call. And of course you wouldn't have to go, you know. That would never do, I'm sure, said Alice. The governess would never think of excusing me my lessons for that. If she couldn't remember my name, she'd call me Miss, as the servants do. Oh, there's the bread and butter plot. Well, if she said Miss and didn't say anything more, the gnat remarked, of course you'd miss your lessons. There's a joke. I wish you had made it. Made it? You just made it yourself, dude. Why do you wish I had made it? Alice asked. It's a very bad one. Oh, old 18th century burn. The 18th century, when was this written? When was this written? Hold on. 1832, yeah. 19th century then. 19th century burn! But the gnat only sighed deeply, with 2 large tears came rolling down his cheeks. You shouldn't make jokes, Alice said, if it makes you so unhappy. Then came another of those melancholy little sighs, and this time the poor gnat really seemed to have sighed itself away, for, when Alice looked up, there was nothing whatever to be seen on the twig, and, as she was getting quite chilly with sitting still for so long, she got up and walked on. She very soon came to an open field, with a wood on the other side of it. It looked much darker than the last wood, and Alice felt a little timid about going into it. However, on second thoughts, she made up her mind to go on. For I certainly won't go back, she thought to herself, and this was the only way to the 8th square. This must be the wood, she thought to herself, where things have no names. I wonder what will become of my name when I go in. I shouldn't like to lose it at all, because they'd have to give me another, and it would almost be certainly be an ugly one. But then the fun would be trying to find the creature that had got my old name. That's just like the advertisements, you know, where people lose dogs. Answers to the name of Dash. Had on a brass collar. Just fancy calling everything you met Alice till one of them answered. Only they wouldn't answer at all if they were wise. She was rambling on in this way when she reached the wood. It looked very cold and shady. Well, at any rate, it's a great comfort, she said as she stepped under the trees, after being so hot, to get into what? She went on, rather surprised at not being able to think of the word. I mean to get under this, you know? Putting her hand on the trunk of the tree. What does it call itself, I wonder? I do believe it's got no name. Why, to be sure it hasn't. Oh, shoot. This is like a pretty nefarious place. You like lose identity? Oh, crap. This is some deep level property right here. She stood silent for a moment, thinking. Then she suddenly began again. Then it really has happened after all. And now, who am I? I will remember if I can. I'm determined to do it. But being determined didn't help her much. And all she could say after a great deal of puzzling was, L. I know it begins with L. Girl. Just then a fawn came wandering by. It looked at Alice with its large, gentle eyes, but didn't seem at all frightened. Here then, Alice said as she held out her hand and tried to stroke it, but only started back a little and then stood looking at her again. What do you call yourself? No. What do you call yourself? The fawn said at last. Such a soft, sweet voice it had. Why, thank you. I wish I knew, thought poor Alice. She answered rather sadly, Nothing just now. Think again, it said. That won't do. Alice thought, but nothing came of it. Please, would you tell me what you call yourself? She said timidly. I think that might help a little. I'll tell you, if you'll come a little further on, the fawn said. I can't remember here. So they walked on together through the wood, Alice with her arms clasped lovingly around the soft neck of the fawn, till they came out into another open field. Aww. And here the fawn gave a sudden bound into the air and shook itself free from Alice's arms. I'm a fawn, it cried in a voice of delight. And dear me, you're a human child. A sudden look of alarm came into the beautiful brown eyes. In another moment, it had darted away at full speed. Oh, because it's afraid of humans. Also, when they didn't know who they were, there was no fear. But once they realized the labels they had, then she was scared. There's a lesson there, right? There's a lesson right there. Alice stood looking after it, almost ready to cry with vexation at having lost her dear little fellow traveler so suddenly. However, I know my name now, she said. That's some comfort. Alice. Alice. I won't forget it again. And now, which of these finger posts ought I to follow, I wonder? It was not a very difficult question to answer, as there was only one road through the wood, and the two finger posts both pointed along it. I'll settle it, Alice said to herself, when the road divides and they point different ways. But this did not seem likely to happen. She went on and on and on, a long way, but wherever the road divided, there were sure to be two finger posts pointing the same way, one marked to Tweedledum's house, and the other to the house of Tweedledee. I do believe, said Alice at last, that they live in the same house. I wonder, I never thought of that before, but I can't stay here long. I'll just call and say, how do you do, and ask them the way out of the wood. If I could only get to the 8th square before it gets dark. So she wandered on, talking to herself as she went, till, on turning a sharp corner, she came upon two fat little men, so suddenly that she could not help staring back. But in another moment she recovered herself, feeling sure that they must be Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And we'll do that next time. Aw, man, the paper mache insects and stuff really resonate with the place we just were in Madness Returns. It really did take a lot of inspiration from the original source. I mean, duh, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. There's a certain nonsense to Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass that, like, it's one of those things that, like, it's nonsense, but it does, like, have logic to it in a weird way. I was very impressed with Alice in Wonderland itself, the first story, where, like, the world kind of actually had a weird cohesion to it, but it was crazy, but it, like, technically worked. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. So, yeah, something a little different for the month of October. I don't know if we'll get through all of it. I highly doubt we will, but we can keep going and see how far we get. But Through Looking Glass, Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll, you can find it anywhere. It's, what's it called? It's public domain at this point, so you find it in your local library if you actually go there. But yeah. Anyway, that'll be it for today's stream. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you'll join us maybe this coming Friday for at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Tales of Vesperia. We're making our way through. And we'll continue from there through the weird and wayward journey of Alice in Madness Returns, as well as our own little quaint journey in Through the Looking Glass. Anyway, may God bless every single one of you. I hope you have a fantastic night, and I will see you next time. Goodbye for now, everyone.